You've made your first sale on your website or Etsy shop. Making your first sale can be really exciting. It also can be a little nerve-wracking because now, all of a sudden, things get real. You gotta deliver the product. And living in the Amazon Prime world that we do, your customers, the people who purchase from you, are going to have very high expectations of what you're getting them when. So how do you manage those expectations? That's what we're going to talk about in this week's episode of Ask Kif. Hi, I'm Tiffany Staley, founder of The Artist JD, a place designed to add ease to the legalese of running your creative business. This week, I'm going to answer a question submitted from Martha in Illinois. She says, I have shop policies, but do I need terms of service? Great question. Short version, yep, probably need both. But why? Why do I think you need both shop policies and a terms of service? Well, that's because your shop policies aren't enforceable, unfortunately. Your shop policies are great to help manage expectations about what you're going to be able to do, when you're going to be able to do it, and what kind of notification your customer is going to have as you go through the process. But when you've got that unreasonable customer, when you've got maybe something goes wrong and your customer's upset with you and they're threatening to sue you, without terms of service, without some sort of contract with your customer, those shop policies really mean nothing. So how can we take your shop policies and turn them into something that becomes a contract, that becomes a promise that you're making to your customers so that you can help manage those expectations? All you need to do is add a little checkbox to your checkout process that says, I agree to this company's terms of service. I agree to these policies. If you include that check mark as part of your checkout process, you've formed a contract. We've all opened accounts with Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, everywhere else, where we checked that I agree to terms box and never even read it. Guess what? You're going to be held to those terms if you ever complain to Facebook about how your ad spend goes. You create ads on Facebook, you don't like how it turns out, guess what? You're stuck with those terms of service because you agreed to that checkbox. Your customers are the same exact way. If you've got shop policies, all you need to do is incorporate them into your terms of service, and all of a sudden you have something that you can enforce against that customer. Against that customer who scans and doesn't bother to read that it takes 2 weeks for you to create a custom product, and they expect it to be at their house in 2 days for grandma's birthday. It allows you to help manage those expectations in a little bit better way. How are you going to do this quickly and easily? I've got a resource for you, and that resource I've linked to below. It's a Mad Libs template that I've created that will help you not only get your terms of service quickly on your website, but your privacy policy as well. And yes, for those of you who need to comply with GDPR, which pretty much everybody does, these templates were updated in May of 2018 to cover all of those requirements. So you'll be good to go there as well. I'm also going to give you a link to a blog post I wrote about how you can reverse engineer your process, starting at the unboxing experience and ending at the customer finding out that you have the product even for sale, so that you can think through some of these things around how you're going to create these shop policies and then turn that into your terms of service. Next week, I'm going to be answering a great question about if you can just put a blanket copyright by putting a little notice at the bottom of your website to cover everything on your website. You're not going to want to miss that episode. To make sure you don't miss it, click that subscribe button so that you can get notified as soon as the next episode drops. And before you go, check out the playlist above where I've curated all the Ask Kif episodes to date. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.